Trading the foreign exchange market carries high risk and may not be suitable for all investors. Trading on margin, utilizing leverage can carry an even higher level of risk that can lead to a complete loss of investment funds. So before deciding to trade the foreign exchange market or using any of our software alert products, you should carefully and diligently consider your personal investment objectives, level of experience, and risk tolerance. There is a possibility that you could potentially sustain significant loss. You should not invest any capital or trade that you cannot afford to lose. It is your responsibility to be aware of and understand all risks associated with foreign exchange trading and to seek professional advice from an independent certified financial advisor if you have any doubts. Auvoria Prime does not exercise trading authority over your trades. You and you alone exercise discretionary trading authority over every trade.
Right now, there's nothing, no red folders for Monday. I'm not seeing anything until 10 o'clock Tuesday afternoon or Tuesday morning. So this should be a relatively quiet day today. It is a Monday, so expect a lot of position taking from the institutions. So don't be too big of a hurry to jump into trades today. And let's see, let's take a look at our heat map and our Hercules. The Hercules. And let's see what's hot, what's not. Right now, I'm looking at the British pound. Is now just a reminder that the upper two. See, this would be 15-minute, 30-minute. I got to make sure I change my default on this. We decided that Brian and I should keep as stable as the same as possible. Even though we do have some trading differences, try and keep everything as possible as congruent. So these are going to be the higher time frames. Here's the 1 hour on the left. The upper right is going to be the 30-minute. Bottom left is the 15-minute, and the bottom right is going to be the 5-minute. I primarily focused on the bottom two, and Brian focuses for his swing trading pretty much on the upper two or higher time frames. But right now we're looking at the British pound, and the Canadian dollar is weak on the 5-minute. This could very well be in a little bit of a pullback, but the British pound is the strongest of all the currencies, so we're going to be trading to the strength of the British pound and also of the New Zealand dollar. So we have the New Zealand as the second strongest currency on the 30, the 15, and the 5. And the US dollar is weak, and the Canadian dollar is weak. So we trade the CAD now, but take a look at British yen, British CAD, British USD, and British yen. So let's just start with that. Let's go with let's try the British yen first, see how that looks. And you can see that the British is the first currency of the pair. It's the strongest. It's been strong, a nice little move up with a little bit of pullback. This could be a nice little rally with a little basing and a rally. Let's see where it goes. So we're going to draw our fib lines. And we have a green fib line and red. So right now it's between a green and a red. That's not right. But it's right on coming up on the blue, blue 15-minute fib line. It's right at, this is a point where a lot of times you'll see either it's going to base a little bit or it could retrace back in. The blue lines are relatively strong areas. The 15-minute blue line is going to be any line on the 15-minute chart is going to be a blue line on the 5 and the 1 minute. So just keep that in mind. But right now, this is the 15-minute blue right here where it's bouncing. You can see it peaked up, based up, pulled back a little bit. Right now, it's testing this area right here. And with the strength of the yen, I think I would probably venture. I would put my money on the strength to take it go up higher still. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my Fibonacci tool on. And I'm going to draw from the green to the blue. Right to about there. And I'm going to tweak it over here on the 5-minute. Slide it on over. There's the same blue line right up there. And here's the basing right here. Here's the blue. So basically it's right going to be between a blue and a blue on the 5-minute. And we'll see where we have anything here. Right now, the strength is the British pound is the strongest one. And we'll see if it's worth taking a trade on this. I'd like to see it. Let's see, where's the overshoot area here? I think this may be a doable trade. I want to see a close on. If I'd like to say a 5-minute close on this above this blue line right here. Let's see a close on the 5-minute. Right now we have a close on the 1 minute. Nice pullback, but you have a little bit of a railroad track there. Here's the nice push up, push back down, and then we have another little rejection. We've got a little bit of a wedge going on right here at the top.
Don't say that word.
We have a wedge
Not a wedge.
And here's our little wedge right here. And we're going to flat top the flat bottom. And we'll see what it does. Right now it's inside this little wedge. It's a very narrow range. It's only a 3-pip, 4-pip range. If it breaks out of the top of this, then I'd be apt to take this thing long. I buy, let's see, just get into the poker here. Whoops, too deeper. I didn't want to do that. This is what I want to do. I don't have a TradingView doesn't have that many different accounts for us to be able to use. So I have to use the paper trade to be able to take the trades on this thing so you can see how it works. Then we'll try and take it on my other account. We're just trying to get the break, close. You can see right now it's coming up into this green zone. If it can break through the green zone, it's probably going to go up to the red. And at this point, I think what I will do is we have what time was that? That was 37. The 5-minute close is going to be right around on this candle, right? If I draw the line here. Once the candle gets onto the 740 time mark, when this red candle closes, that will let us know that's when the 5-minute candle will close. And we'll see how this candle closes right now. If it closes above the blue line, I'm going to take this trade. And let's wait and see. We had a little pass, check, it pulled back, came back, passed again. It broke through the wedge. We have a close above this high over here, or right at that high. If it can break through this little zone, then we'd be looking at pretty much up around this red to green zone right up in here. It didn't quite close. I'm going to put a mark right about a buy stop at 152.11. So buy stop 152.11. With a take profit of 152.16. I'll make it 18. That's close enough. Stop loss be 14 pips, 151. Yep, that'd be about right. It's already there. Didn't like that for some reason. Maybe my positions are too high here.
And now, when there's a lull in the action here, Eden's sent a question about the U.S. yen, a trade that he's in. That I've analyzed it, so whatever. That way we're
okay.
Being type.
The U.S. yen. I don't know why this is not
Yeah.
taking the trades.
Yeah. He's doing a swing, but I've asked him a couple other questions too. So
So we're just going to mark this. I'm not sure what's wrong with this. But we took a buy entry here. And we'll see how it goes here. The target would have been, and the target's going to be, and right now this is 16. We're going to put the target at 7 pips. And 11 out at 18. And target. Okay, we'll take a look at U.S. yen. You said it was the next one.
yeah, he's doing a different thing. So I analyzed it. He's doing. He called it a swing trade potentially. I've got it marked up on mine if you want to. That way you can keep an eye on your yen.
Okay, U.S. yen. I'll put it over here.
Let me get.
Here. So British yen, U.S. yen.
The question is I marked him up. He gave us entry. I put it on the charts, and he's talking about it being a swing type trade. But I need to know from him, is that when you say swing, is that just a longer term day trade, or is that actually a swing trade that could go for hours and days and weeks? Otherwise, it's kind of convoluted.
And right here's our blue FIP line right here. This is the blue line. Here's the red line. Draw our FIPs in between.
And I'm not so sure he's going to be on a 15-minute chart. That's what I'm trying to, before we analyze this thing, because he's in a kind of in a little weird spot. It's like the 15-minute chart may be, I'm going to drop this down just to see. Because you don't normally enter a true swing trade on a 15-minute chart. So it says when I scalp, I took a max 50. Okay, so you're actually doing what we call a longer day trade. It's truly not a swing. You don't normally drop down to a 15-minute swing level, a 15-minute trade to be long term. So let me drop this thing down for a second. I'll give you his entries too, Al.
Okay.
We can squeeze it up, doing some squishing. Because what happens with that, Edens, is your target is so daggone far away, and your as far as a 15-minute chart, and your entries are very small, which is not necessarily bad if you're really, really good at it. Al, can I share my screen so I can show?
Yeah, sure.
I think this will be a better picture.
One thing I don't like about this trade is that the U.S. dollar and the Japanese yen are both weak, relatively speaking, and they're basically weak compared to each other. So they're really fighting for position. So you're going to have a lot of basing going on right here during that time. So yeah, you got the charts.
Let me go. I'm checking to see here real quick. U.S. yen.
Let me check and see how my British.
Yeah.
So my British yen is about ready to hit target here. First target.
My pound yen hit already. So this is why I'm doing this analyzation here.
And Brian Edens said he did it off the 1 day.
Off of a 1 day chart?
Yes.
Then I would tell you your stop's too small. This is what it looks like on a 15-minute, guys. Not a bad entry necessarily. There's no momentum to it, like Al mentioned. But notice his stop is nicely below his pivot. That's a great place to be. I would probably, keep it right there for now. Maybe drop it, being that you're going to be considering longer term. But notice the ratio here between his stop and his target way up here. Now, if you're trading pretty naked, it's not necessarily bad. You just got to be aware of that. Here you've got an issue with supply. Here you've got an issue with supply. Here you've got an issue with supply, and here, that's all within the next, whatever that measurement is. Then when you go even further back to find out where his target is, you've got this area of supply, this one right here. This one's already tested, but this one right here is and look where his target's at, right at the very top. Nothing wrong with that. Now, this is on a 15-minute chart. So if I come back and show you the tools just on a 15-minute, this is why I never take a swing trade on a 15-minute chart. If I have any mentality of being swing, I'm never on a 15-minute. Not saying that you can't. Look what he has to battle through. And the question would be is, can he battle through here without coming back to here? That's all it is. He may be right on the direction. He may be correct on everything else. Also, this tool right here tells me that majority of the traders in this particular trade are long, which you are with. I'm looking to be short against you, to be honest, but I wouldn't do it right now. So there's room maybe on a shorter term time frame to be long, but for my personal taste, I would be looking to go against you because I know that 90% of traders are wrong and most of them are in the long side with you. So where would I go? I would have my entry right here as my short, and my stop would be all this right here. I'd be up here, and then I would be playing to play down to the blue. That's what I would be doing. I would be going for a 70 pip move minimum. That would be down probably where that's 133. So right where your entry, I would take it. My swing would be starting from here, take it to where your entry was. So I would be taking your money potentially. Let's look at it on a higher time frame though, because you did mention. I'm going to go to 6 hours. 6 hours is pretty good indication. Kind of a cross between that 4 hour and daily chart. Again, majority of the traders are long. Let's see if it looks any different. Again, you have several walls to go through before you could ever get to your target. And the question will be, can you get enough momentum to come up here to not throw you back down here? That's on the 4 hour. And to me, it seems like Al mentioned it. He says, I think we're sideways, and we are. We're sideways. Your range is really from the 109.19 to here, and you're in the middle, but you're going to have a grind. And there's nothing telling me that this is going to want to go long necessarily. Let's go to the day. Again, you're the only thing I see wrong with this particular day trade or swing trade is that your stop is so small. And unless you're really, really successful, brokers have a tendency to pop you out. Love the entry you got in before. You got in before the demand zone was found, but your target's still too high. When you come to the daily, this is going to be the booger right here at the 111. And I'm not telling you to change anything that you're doing. You have to make that decision. But you can see the trend was broken. If you're a trend trader, this is a great picture of trend. And so you've got another thing that's hitting you against you to be long or sideways with a bias down. And we're reacting to popping off of here. We couldn't pass it. We tried to. We broke it here, came back, retested, fell away. Test it. Now, the question will be is, will we make a higher high or will we make a lower low? So it's not necessarily not going to work out, but it would definitely not be one of my favorite. We'll keep it marked on the charts and see what happens over the next day or so. Al, it's all yours.
You're sipping hot tea. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Probably, he may be doing that. He very well may be doing that. I took this trade.
You just stopped sharing here.
Oh, okay. You don't have power to take my control away?
I got to find it if I do.
I can help you. I got in right here and right there. It's a good trade for the day. That's probably the only one I'm going to be doing. There you go, bub.
There you go. That's better. That makes it a little bit easier for me here.
Whatever I can do to help senior adults today.
There you go. It's be nice to senior adults today.
I missed this banter.
Oh, this has been like this all week, darling.
You haven't missed it. Hey, I got to cram as much in today as I can because I won't be here the rest of the week.
Gonna abandon us.
Oh,
Yeah.
Well, you should see. Let's see. Well, we did hit our target. Do you see my charts? Am I showing the right one?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. British pound. We did hit our target. Got out of that one. Now is what it is. I thought when I pulled back, I thought I would take another trade. So right now I'm in with a head. The first one I would be taking a full position as if just going for the 7 pips and that's it. If I'm going to try and scale in on the second position, I wait for it to pull back and then take like a half position and then take another position down below here. So I'm going to do that. I already took another one. When it pulled back to this area, I did a half position. And right now that one's being pulled back. But now I'm going to wait for it to pull back another to the next line here. And I'm going to, which is actually going to be, it may not even get down this far, but I'm going to put in another buy limit. Let's see, buy limit. And I'm going to use this line right here about 152.03. So 152.03, if it gets in at 152.03, I'm going to take another position. And like I said, this is the first one. I took it by full position off the calculator with the account size, 2% risk. I took the full position. I got out at break even at the target. It pulls back. Now I'm going to try and scale in. So because a lot of times what happens is it'll go up, you'll get your profit first time, and then you comes back and pulls that. And we're going to see if it comes back down all the way down to here. And we can see like right now on the 1 minute chart, the British pound is losing some ground. This is a strong pullback. We look to our our 5 minute chart. Again, it's right now they're about even. You've got the pound and the yen are pretty much neck and neck. And on the 15 minute, the pound is still strong by 3. So basically what I'm looking at is if it comes back down, it's going to get me into another position, which is going to average my cost down to about the middle. And I'm still going to go for the same target and maybe even higher. So, but right now on this pullback, I'm only risking half of a position, so I can actually take a larger stop. So if I'm looking for at 52, at 13, right now at 13, this is still less than my 15 pip stop all the way down here. And at that point, I'm going to take a second position. If it gets down that far, fine. If it doesn't, well, no harm done. And then I can maybe try and just, if it starts to trend all the way up and keep on going with the strength, then I'll be in this trade. It'll be a smaller position, but I can still go, then you just maybe just ride that wave going on up. So that's where I am right now. I already locked into one profitable trade for the day with a full position. Now I've got a half position open. It's in a drawdown right now. I have the second position be down here, and then the third. I could even go down with as much as the third position down to the next to the blue line, which would be right about here. And so that way, each time this would be dollar cost averaging on the way down, and then if it steps back, it won't take much to get back to break even again. So that's the way I'm playing this one right now.
I'm kind of doing the same thing with pound US.
Yeah, I already locked in the position, already locked in my profit. And now, right now, I'm still profitable for the day because I had a larger position on that first trade. And now I'm just basically waiting for this thing to come back and get done with this pullback. And we'll see what it does. Let's see, what else do we have going on here? We have the New Zealand is now getting stronger to the Canadian dollar. Let's try New Zealand CAD. New Zealand CAD. Let's take a look at this one.
I got in this one a little early, and then
check out our fib lines. Here's our blue. Here's our red. This is in the middle between the two zones. We'll draw our fib lines.
And strangely, this was a short earlier.
They will switch. They do switch around.
That was only a few minutes ago, a few minutes back.
Yes. And so right now I'm going to tweak this thing here. Look, here here's the blue 5 minute line. So I'm just going to, like I said, if it's a blue line, if it's any line on the 15, it's going to be a blue line on the 5 and a blue line on the 1. It's got strength to the upside. You can see that the New Zealand is strong to the Canadian dollar. And basically, we're just looking for a pullback.
And watch your spreads on this one.
Yeah, they got a 2-point spread on this one, so it's a little bit more. It's okay.
Mine's
okay
4. Yeah.
Yours is 4.
Mine's 4.
Wow. Okay.
Welcome to FXCM.
Yeah, I'm at 1.8 right now. And that's what the Oanda. This is what the Oanda feed is. What this is.
Yeah.
So anyway, we have a nice rally, net rally, base, rally, base, rally, pullback. And now it's right here at the, if you look at my fib line, it's right at Well, she's not neither. It's where's my fibs? Let's see, 87.70 to 87.65. That's only, this is only a 5 pip range in between here. So it looks like a lot, but it's really not. And right here's a 50% mark of the Fibonacci range of that whole 15-minute zone that we drew. It's right here is the 50%. And it's still strong. It's looking for a pullback.
I went ahead and went along with it on my demo to see where the spread actually ended. It's actually 6.5. So it really pretty much takes me out of the trade.
So this is on a little bit of a pullback. So I'm going to, let's see, where's the spread on this? Let me see if I can get the ask line on here. Let's see where it is. Right now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at this thing it pulled back. It looks like I'm going to do a buy stop and looking for this area to be the target. If the New Zealand dollar still stays strong on this pullback, here's the origin of the move right down here. Here's the origin. Here's the top of the move. A 40% retracement would be right about to this area. So if I can get a target, get it to come back in somewhere in here, I'd definitely be a buyer in this area. Or I can wait till, because this thing's only pulled back just a little bit beyond that. It's only pulled back 23%. I like to see it pull back at least 23%. So I want to see it get back at least to this area right in here. And I can do a buy limit right in this area. The broker. Buy limit at 86.63. Maybe too late for that. 86.63. Should be right down, right around in. You can see where the spread is on this. 64 to 63. Not bad.
Not horrible, no. Not for you. Not bad.
So now if it comes into this little zone, I'll be in this trade. Wait for it to come to you. Now, if I can do one of two things. I can just let it go and wait until it gets me filled. If it doesn't get me filled, I can do a buy stop up above, assuming that this is all the stronger the pullback's going to be. If it gets me in, I'll take my buy stop out, but now I'm going to put a buy stop in up at the, well, we've got to be pretty quick on this. At 60, buy stop. No, it's already gone through market. So I did not get filled on this pullback. I did get filled on my buy stop. Wasn't a very good fill.
Mine was horrible, so I just took the loss just because I wanted to see how far it did go away. It was on demo, so no big deal. I just wanted to see what my system said. Are you in it now, Al?
Well, I did when it got to where I wanted to put my buy stop in, it wouldn't let me put the buy stop. So I did a market order right at that point, but this is where it got filled. And that's where the hazard is. But I'm still kind of waiting for this thing to pull back into this one right here. Now, if you'll see, if I get into this one, the average is going to be right about in here. See this, how this thing gets filled. The Canadian dollar is still weak compared to the New Zealand. The spreads are pretty strong on this one. I mean, it's 2-point spread. So you see, like right now, it came into where my target was, but it didn't get filled because it didn't. The spread has to get all the way through before it's going to fill. This is where the spreads can really kind of play tricks with you. If it goes a little bit deeper, then I'll get into this trade. Then you'll see that my dollar cost average will be here. Then if it just comes up here and retests the high, we'll be profitable in this trade.
I've been playing the pound US. Just up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. That was from your pound yen. I took it over to the pound US. Same stuff, same look almost. It was a good trade.
Let's see, how's the British yen doing here?
Yeah, that's a good trade.
Yeah, that one's still going. Remember, I took I got profitable in the first one, pulled back, took a second position, half position. Right here, it did pull back and never did trigger my second one. Now, right now, I can just sort of take this. I'm already profitable on the two trades. Now I can just take this moving average and just follow my stop all the way along, say this 200 moving average, or the this is a actually let's look at it with this. Let's look at it on a 5-minute chart. That'd be a better way to go. Now you can just I'm gonna pull this one off. And so there's my first profit, pulled back. I'm in my second position with a half a position. And I'm just going to let the moving average take me out. So I'm going to put my stop down below here at about the 151.96. And I'm just going to trail it. Take profit of, let's see, stop loss. This is what I'm going to do. And stop loss of 151.96, 96, modify it. That's going to put it right. And as this moving average goes up, I'm just going to keep on moving this thing on up just a little bit each time it goes, modify it. My target on this is going to be, I can go and take 152.65, just go for a little bit more on this one. So my target, take profit of 152.64. Or you can just let it keep on going until it stops you out on the pullback. Right now, the British pound is strong. We had the pullback. Take this off. And now we're just in this trade, just trailing it. You can see on this move up, actually the yellow moving average was the key on that one. So we could probably actually lock in our profits a little bit more, just maybe split the difference of where the last pullback was. This way you'll kind of lock in your profits a little bit more. It'll give us some room for a pullback. But if the 13 moving average is the basis for the trend, if this thing starts trending like it did way over here, this could be a nice little move to the upside and just keep trending it on up. You've already locked in your profit. I wouldn't move it to break even just yet because it's not really out of the chute. It's got to break through here. Once it can break through the top of this area over here, then I can maybe go and move it up to break even. Just lock it, make it into a risk-free trade as I trail it on up.
And you're sitting on, Sherlock found a supply zone right where you're at. So it doesn't surprise you, I know.
Where I'm at right now?
Yeah.
Is trying to get through that supply zone?
Yeah. It's in the middle of it. Yeah.
Which would be right in this little area right in here. So here's a rally, here's a little base, and this was the area where it dropped. It's retesting this little area right up in here.
And it looks like that zone was even created earlier. Let me go back and see how far back it was. Let's do some squishing and squashing and stuff here. That zone was created a long ways back when you're looking at a
This would be a supply zone right in there.
July 16th.
And you can see where it's just ranging right inside here. Now, if it can break through here, it will be, if it can break through this area right in here, go to our 15-minute chart or higher time frame chart and see what we have. And boy, I'm not seeing anything over here till
July 16th was the date that the 5-minute zone was found.
Yep, July 16th was right in this area. And then, so if it can get through this little area right where we're at right now, this would be the next target would be, I would put this as the next target zone, which should be right about in there. And that's going to be 152.44. We have ours at, yeah, could be a little, I say this would be a real, once it breaks through this little zone right here, 152.44 would be the next area, and maybe even higher to the blue line. Right now, we just sort of wait. I said this thing starts to trend. I mean, right now we have strong move up, a pullback, and so if it can go from here to here with a pullback, the next target on that, I would be putting at, let's see how this works out. This would be my stop zone.
The cool thing about this long, Al, is you've already had a 15-minute close above that blue line at 152.10. You've had a close above it, so that's now could be in your favor.
Right. And so the pullback, so if it pulls back to this area, we're looking at an ultimate target zone of the 100% of this move, which goes right up here to our 100 line, which is right up in this area, which is right where my target is, actually.
And what was that number where your target's at?
150. Well, my target right now is at 152.64, I think is what it is, something like that.
That's your green line?
That's the blue, basically it's the blue fib line.
On a 5, yeah. So it's green on 15.
So this would be a target right there. Now this would be the target off of this pullback, off this higher time frame, off a 15-minute chart. We had the strong move up, we had the pullback. This would be the target. So if I wanted to trend this thing, I would just keep my stop. At this point, I'd keep it below my 15-minute line, right? 15-minute moving average, 13 moving average, and just let it work its way. I'll just keep my stop there. Once it breaks through up here, I may be able to move it to break even. But most of the time, you're better off in just letting your stop sit where it is, and then just take it from that. But we do know that this line right here is an area where it's going to have to get through based on this target over this area over in here, back to July 16th. Here's a little basing area. And there's a little wick in that.
Squish and squash.
Squish and squash.
And always look left.
Is that a new term you guys came up with?
It's
Squish and
it's a
squash.
high technical trading term.
Oh, I liked it.
Yeah.
See what happens in your way.
Yeah, we've changed some of our trading plan. Part of our trading
Terminology.
plan is squish and squash
The thing
and look left.
Yes.
I know this looks
Squish,
like there's a
squash,
lot of
look
lines
left.
here, but like I said, this is one thing I would generally do is that this is the ultimate target up here, the 1-to-1. But I also look at the 76.8 or 78.6 area. So this would be the basic target. This would be the more conservative, just take your profit, be happy. This would be going for the gusto up here. So anywhere in that area would be fine. And I could take this off so you don't get too many. We have, don't really need this anymore. Don't need that anymore. Here's our supply zone. It's trying to work its way through. Once it breaks through that, it's coming up to here. May get a little bit of a pullback off of this area, but this is the ultimate target area right up in here.
If we can get this 15-minute candle to close strong, you will create that rally-based rally again.
Yep.
And that will become a nice area to be. My stop's right below that red candle wick. Where's your stop at right now?
My stop zone would be right down in this area right here, which
Yeah,
would be right
lower
around.
than I am.
Actually, I got my stop right now at the moving average. On the 15-minute chart, I got right at the 13-period moving average.
That's where mine's at too.
It's already tested it.
Yeah.
It came back up. Once it gets out of the chute, once it gets start trending, this thing should be lagging a little bit enough to where if the pullback, and you want maybe just want to keep it just a little bit below where, so the wick can kind of get you a little bit out of the way. That's moving average. We can actually probably take this off too as well. We have the trade set up. Now we're ready to look on for something else while we're waiting for this. We're already profitable and we have our stop set in place. Now let's go and look at something, see if there's something else to look at. How about the index? That's the wrong one. How about the index? What's the German 30 doing? That's always a favorite. The yen or the euro for the German 30, we're looking at the euro. The euro is weak compared to the yen and the dollar. So I would be looking at this thing going up. It would favor it to the upside. And right now it's between a blue and a green zone. We're going to go and mark that. Tweak it over here on the 5. Lock that in. Now I wait for a little bit of a pullback. Here's a nice little rally. Wait for a pullback coming in. Here's a green marker.
Okay,
if I can get a 5-minute close above this 156.30 area, then we'll be going for the 156.42.
Put your thoughts at Eva. You're the German 30 person or whatever. This is the DAX though. It's not the.
It's the same thing. Depends on who you're.
So right now I want to see a close above this green line before. Oh, sorry, it did not close, so I have to wait a little bit. So now we have to go for the next 5-minute candle. We're going to go to the 20. And you can see right now it's coming right into the 50% of that zone retracement. The whole zone area is right at the 50% mark. So once it breaks through the 50%, then we'd be looking at maybe going up into the upper 25.
I felt that one coming.
Yeah, I couldn't stop it. Here's the upper 25% of the zone. Nice little basting going on right here. Here's a little wedge forming. You can see it's struggling to get through there. Every time it comes up, it pulls back. But this is a nice little, there's a rally, here's a little base. we get another rally going on, it should be able to come on up to around this 156.38. I get a 5-minute close on this above. I'm going to put an entry order in at the 156.29 area. See if it comes back to pulls back into it, and then look for this for the target. First, I want to get that 5-minute close on this. The euro is gaining a little strength right now than where it was. Got a 1 minute, nice strong 1 minute close on that.
Not well, Al?
What's that?
Are you not well?
I am not well. I picked up a cold when I was with the grandkids.
You always get sick when you're with them.
Every time, every time, every single time. It drives me crazy. The cube with a bunch of petri dishes.
You guys all need to start wearing masks in the house.
Still waiting for a 5-minute close on this. If we do, it may almost be a little bit. We'll see if it'll come back in and retest it right down in here.
I'm actually drawing it out here as well, Al. So we have two different styles of trading.
You're probably going to, once this peaks back up, you'll probably do a little buy stop right up in here for a couple dollars.
I'll tell you in a moment.
If this red candle can close above this green line, we're still good. Then if we have two choices, one, I could wait for it to pull back to the green line and take an entry, or I can do a buy stop, looking for it to go up to the buy stop right around the 156.36 area to target of 156.42. Looks like we're going to get that 5-minute close.
See, for me, it hasn't even pulled back yet. The way market's drawn.
Okay, we did get the 5-minute close above that 5-minute candle close. Now I'm going to be looking at doing a buy limit at 156.29. And I'm going to do a buy stop right up here, just a little bit above this wick here at 156.36. And see which one hits first. 156.36. Right now, so if it doesn't pull back all the way down, I'll still get into the trade, and then my target is going to be 156.43. And this one will also be 156.43.
I'm not looking at a big gap there.
All right, I'm in that one, so I'm going to close this one out. I don't want two of them.
Al?
Yes?
Is there a big gap there, a little further to your left?
A big gap. I'm not seeing a gap.
On the the 26th? I don't know why it's showing on my chart. There's a big gap.
No, I'm not seeing any. I'm not seeing any gaps.
Down gap? No? Okay.
we're waiting on this. Let's see what the British trade is doing here. Still fighting.
It's still staying in the same spot.
Still fighting to get out of that spot right in there.
Mm-hmm. Let's letting those moving averages catch all back up again before our opening.
Right now, so we're stuck between this blue line and this green line right now. This is the basings. The rally, here's a little basing. And the rally would be the next zone right up here where my target is. I do the fib extension on this. Bring it back to the 40% line, right, which would be right about this area. I should maybe stick it down a little bit lower here.
Check out the S&P as well, Al, when you have a moment. I've set a buy stop on it, which is going to be triggering shortly.
Yeah, the dollar is right in the middle between the British pound, so it looks like it has some potential to the upside. Let's see where zones are. Blue line, red zone, Fibonacci's. Ugh. We'll tweak it over here. Make sure it's on the blue line. Blue line pretty close. Lock it in. Got a little zone right here. Here's the 50% of this range. Is bouncing right off that 50% line. This looks like it may want to go on up. Here's our green line. We had a little wick right up here. You can see where that little wick right at the green line. Wick at the blue line. So this is our lower time frame zone right here. And this is 4407 to 40. That's only $2. That's only a $2 zone right there. It's pretty narrow. Again, we look for about $5 move on these trades on the indexes. Even goes for what, $2 on the UK 100?
$2 on the UK 100, and I changed the S&P to $3.50. $5, it was just starting to struggle to get to it. So I've got it at $3.50 now.
Huh. Do you position size different now, Eva, too, because it's 350 instead of 5? Or is that all the same for you?
Right now, it's all the same because I kind of base it on what my balance is. So all this does now is it's just it doesn't have as far to go, and I mean I'm still going to get a reasonable profit when it does hit and do its thing. Which this one's going to be triggering very soon, my S&P. But I set a Bitcoin one earlier this morning and it just hit too. So I'm just in that one as well. So now I just sit and wait. But yeah, I was finding, I don't know for what reason, but all of a sudden the S&P was starting to struggle with that $5 move. So even the $4, sometimes it hit, sometimes it didn't. So consistently it has been hitting at 350. So I thought, okay, let's just change it.
What if that has to do with summer months?
Maybe. I mean, the markets, as we all know, they always change. They don't stay static. So they, start doing their thing. And S&P with, I don't know if it's got a lot to do with all these highs that have been just new highs over and over. And now it's just kind of deciding which way to go. Like each move isn't as big as it was. That's all I know. So I just had to adjust my strategy a little bit accordingly. But I mean, the German and the UK is $2, like Al said. And with the German, I'm still doing the same, the $5 move, and it's still hitting. Just the S&P changed.
Right now, this one did pull back to the 40% range. Yeah, it's right into this would be actually an area to take a profit on it. Now, I did take a buy stop, which I'm in a little bit of a drawdown on that. But if I were to be looking to take another position long, I'd be taking it right down in here, this area, at the 40% pullback off of this move up to the upside. And actually might need to go a little bit more than that, actually. This is probably a better spot to go with. And then 40% to there. Get this out of the way. 40% pullback would be right around to that area, which is quite a bit more. This actually is right at this moving average. That would actually probably be a better way to go.
Are you in the German now?
Yeah, it did a buy stop. I did a buy stop, and it did trigger it.
Where was your buy stop? Just out of
It
curiosity.
was right at the top of this last pivot here. It just got me in there, right in this area.
Okay.
What I'm going to do is I'll take another position down here. I like this one better, actually. That'll dollar cost average the pullback. So I'm going to be looking at, and I like this moving average right now. 156.18. This would be a buy limit. 156.18. And then my stop will be below the 156.10. If I get stopped out, I get stopped out. 156.10. And that's where my last stop, the other stop's going to be 156.10. Oops. 156.10. That'll be my stop, and I'm going to use the same stop for this one up here. At 156.10. That way, if I get filled and this area holds, my dollar cost average is going to be right about here in the middle. If not, I'll lose a little bit on this one. I'll lose more on the first one.
But still be within your percentage.
But still within the percentages. Yep.
Good.
So I got in with this one's in drawdown. This one's going to dollar cost average it. And if everything else is wrong, then I'm wrong. Then I just get out right here and move on. Still not filled yet. Let's see, it's got to go through the spread. I've got 1.2. And look at the spread as it goes from a 2.4 to a 1.2. As it's getting closer to this area, the spreads are changing by a dollar and 25 cents more, 2.4 to 1.3. This is where you could, when the spreads start changing like that, you know that the institutions are playing with you.
Or the broker or somebody else.
Or the brokers or somebody's playing with you.
Somebody's jacking
they
around
say
with
this
it.
is a good area, but we're not going to let you get in. If you do get in, you're gonna if you just do a market order, you're gonna be paying. Right now, it's not bad, 1.2. It's stabilizing a little bit. Still not in the trade. Now it's at 2.5. This is what and you're gonna have to kind of watch this part. A lot of times you just don't see that. But these are, I mean, it's changing $1 to $1.50 as it's in this area. Okay, and I just got filled. Now my average is right. Remember, my original order was up here. Now my average, I've got 2 positions. But now all it's got to do is come back to this area and I'll be back to break even again. And my stop is below this line right here, which is my blue line on my fibs. You may want to move this out just a little bit more for just the stop area. Move down just a little bit for the stop. Since they're playing with the stop there a little bit, I don't want to just take me out with my stop because of the spread. I don't want them to do that for me. Strong pullback. Dollar is now the blue line. The dollar is the blue, and that's strong. As the dollar is stronger, so it's the euro is it's actually it's the DAX pair, so it's the euro that we're looking at. Checking out the blue fib line right here.
And the pound unit is still doing what it's doing. It's still staying bound.
And this area right here is the overshoot area of that of our Fibonacci's that we drew, the 25% overshoot. So we just got stopped out. Yep, we just got stopped out just barely so far. Now, the thing is, okay, we got stopped out, but that doesn't mean we can't jump back in if this thing starts retracing. But right now we protect ourselves. We only took so much of a loss on that one. Right now it's in the overshoot of this blue zone. It was had just enough to take my stop out. That was no longer there. And right now, this is the zone it's playing in, right in between here. How's my German 30 doing? Or that one's pulling back now too. What time is it? Is it
It
8:35? Something
8:35,
25
yes.
minutes. Yeah.
We didn't have any news on anything at 7:30, did we? 8:30 your time.
Yeah, the US seems to have gotten kind of strong.
Hey, you see right now, it took my stop, but I was still profitable overall in the trade. It came back down and hit my moving average, which is where my stop was, and I'm out of that trade. And we'll see if it pulls back into this area. If it pulls back into this area, we can maybe try it again. But all of our moving averages are in the right direction. This is just a strong pullback off of this range right here. This is the British yen. Here's the 40% pullback. So right in this area right here would be a stop zone, but this will also be an entry zone. And then the stop would be, this would be the entry, and then this would be the stop. Let's see if it gets down that way, and then we'll take a look and see if we want to try and enter the trade at that point in time. But right now, this trade's done. Still profitable overall with the trade. Let's go back to our DD30. This thing's just tanking. You're not going to win them all.
Nope. And you don't have to win them all.
Nope, you don't. Right now, this is the area right now. This is the 40%. This is the overshoot area of our Fibonacci's that we drew. It's coming, it's right at that blue line, the blue 15-minute fib line, overshooting. Now, if we can get these moving averages to start moving in the right direction, then we can maybe take another shot at this, that the pullback is over.
What about the UK 100, Al?
Let's see about that one. That's a nice little move right there. Looking at the British pound, see where the British pound is. It's right at the green line. Here's the red line. Here's the so it's right at this point right here. Let's take a look at. We'll use this zone right up here, the red zone, to the green. Looks good. That looks good. We'll lock it in. Here's our 50% of the move right here. So that's right above the green. You get a little bit of a, right now, nice little rally, pullback. This might be a good spot for a buy stop. What do you think, Ava?
Yeah, I've set one.
I agree with that. Buy stop.
Yeah.
Right around the 70.20.
I put mine at 70.21.44.
21.40. Boom.
44. So just slightly above yours. I just want to make sure it gets past that highest pivot before it gets in.
And then the target on this would be, you say
a $2 move. Yeah.
It's pretty, I'm going to use the green line here, 70.23. What's the spread on that? 2.6. I'm going to pull this. I'm going to pull this one back just a little bit there. And I'll use 70.23 for my target.
I'm looking at the news. I'm not so sure this is going to be a great week to trade overall. End of the month.
That's true. It's the end of the month. Last week of the month.
I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, yuck.
23.81. Modify 70.23. Let's do that. So I'm not in this trade yet. And this will be my target. If it comes up, it should just come get me in, keep on going. If it has a strong move, it'll just get me in, get me out, all the same candle. That's it.
I did take a small profit on that Bitcoin though. That I set.
How are our cryptos doing? Are they getting back to normal?
They're starting to go up again. The ones that I'm holding have finally come out of their slump. I noticed for the first time today.
Yeah, Bitcoin's back up to almost 40,000 again.
Yeah. So it's starting to look
about that, folks.
Starting to look decent again. So I'm glad about that.
Like the U.S. has gotten. It looks like the U.S. has gotten stronger, proportionally speaking, and so looks like the U.S. Swiss could be a possibility for a forex trade. Take a look at that.
Saeed, I am still waiting for the pullback to correct itself on the German before I get in. And Al, you're not in the German still, right? You closed out?
I closed. Yeah, I got stopped out of the German.
Yeah.
Here's our Swiss, U.S. Swiss. Here's our zone right in here. Here's our green. Here's our blue. Right in the middle of it, right at the 50% of the Fibonacci's. Draw this from there to down here to the blue. Double check my lines. Come on. There we go. Lock it in. This is right at the 50% of the Fibonacci retracement.
Looking at yours, trying to figure out why you're saying, how are you getting it? Okay, you're not quite there. Okay, that's what makes sense. I was looking at mine and you're just barely off too. Okay. We said 50%. We weren't quite there yet. We're close though.
Here's our bottom 25% right in this area. And the top 25% is up right above. Oops, wrong one.
No oops.
There's an oops.
No oops allowed.
Here's our 50%. So it's right at 50%. If we can get through this 50% area, we'll be looking to head on up to the upper 25. Here's a nice little pullback coming in. And the dollar is the blue one, and the Swiss franc is the lighter one, the whiter one. Swiss franc right now on the 1 minute chart is the stronger, but that's just a pullback. The dollar is still strong on the 15 and the 5. And right now, it basically came out of the 25%. Now it's coming back in to maybe retest this area. And we could try taking a shot at 91.68. It already had the pullback. You look over here and you see that it came into this area, left it, came back in, left again, and now it's basing. This is a pullback. Here's our trend line coming in on the bottom. You see the angles change a little bit. Here's coming into the zone, and the pullback could very well be done. 91.93 to 91.99. So there's our 7 pips ish right there. Then we have a little bit of a wedge developing. Here's a low, here's a high, here's a higher low, flat top to top.
There's that wedge.
There's the wedge.
See you, Kylie. Have a great day at work.
Here's the anchor. Here's a hit. Here's another hit. Third hit. If we get a breakout here, we can be going up to this one and possibly up to here, as long as the strength of the dollar holds. We have a nice little 7 to 5. That's a 5-pip spread there, 3-pip point spread there. And it's now had the pullback, and now it's getting back to being where it's strong again on the dollar on the 1 minute chart.
You guys still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
I have myself
watching.
muted so I don't cough in everybody's ear and give everybody my cold.
Yeah, we don't want that to happen.
I
can't get that.
Switch has a good chance of getting up stronger. So a little pullback going right now. But ultimately, I think it's got room to the upside.
I have that phrase in my head, Al, that I can't say out loud. That last slide quote that I put on the last slide.
Oh,
It's still in my head. I still think it's funny.
Al's says it all.
Yeah, I put a slide deck together for Al, and just for fun, see if he would notice. I put a nice phrase at the end for him to say in Orlando.
Did he notice?
He noticed. He knows I was joking though, because there's no way we would say that out loud to people. But it's still funny.
But people are supposed to know that I'm funny.
Yeah, well, we're gonna show them something else, huh? And I'll say it because it's just us. I said something like, "We at Hawkeye, we've upped our standards. Period. So up yours."
Oh.
That's just funny to me.
It is funny. You should say it, Al.
Here at Hawkeye, we've upped our standards. So up yours. That's just funny. I can see him on stage doing that. Just reading from the script. Don't even pay attention. The teleprompter comes out. He can, hey, here at Hawkeye, we've upped our standards. So up yours.
Exactly. I think it's perfect.
We need to get Hawkeye t-shirts with that. That would be great.
Yeah. Yeah. You're right. I love it. I think it's great.
Well, we are coming. Oh, there we are. Let's make sure my mic's on. We are coming into the above this wedge area. We still have strong strength. The dollar is still strong on the. You're still laughing, aren't you?
Yeah, I was. I got choked up.
So if we can get a 5-minute close above this green line, we can maybe try and take this trade to the upside, to the red or the blue fib line.
Ethan says he'll buy those.
What do you say? No, what was that?
He said he'll buy those T-shirts.
You should patent that before they steal it. Make a thing.
I'd have to go through Mariska to get approval for that one.
Yeah, you should. But I think it's hilarious.
It's funny. It is. And everybody in the trade room gets a free T-shirt and they can go, what in the heck is a Hawkeye, number one? And what standards are you talking about? Oh, fun. Too much fun.
55. Okay, if this candle closes, above the green line, it did. I'm going to take a buy on this. Market entry. Back in. There you go. We broke the wedge. We closed at the 5-minute close, and we're looking at the next target of. Let's see what we say.
You're going to have a beast of a time getting through 91 or 99 or 9,200. Just call it 9,200. They're whole number one, but you got some supply from Sherlock being identified on the 5 and the 15.
Right now, my target should be, see, there's 91.95, 99. Actually, going for 7 pips would be 92.02.
Yeah, you may make it, but you're going to have some emotional pain. I have promotional product. Okay. And if we ever do that T-shirt, then I'm going to call you to set that up. We may just do it for fun.
I think it's fabulous.
With Hawkeye, with our Hawkeye label.
With the Hawkeye logo and everything, yeah.
Yeah.
But
they got a sense of humor.
Oh, yeah, we do.
No, not just that.
Oh, you're talking about.
I think it would be, especially coming from such a great man like Al. I think we're perfection.
Never seen it.
Coming from someone like Al, is that what you said?
Yeah, exactly what she said.
I said, especially coming from a straight man like Al, because you're always, you're opening Brian up for the punchlines. So that coming out of you would be just priceless. They all want one. Leslie wants one.
Well, maybe we'll just have to do that. Maybe the Hawkeye team will do that. We'll just make some T-shirts.
And do you have a website that I can go to? Because if you do, I'm gonna put a link to it. I'm gonna see if
I think once we get out this overshoot area of this DAX 30, I think we may be able to take it long again, but it's bouncing right off the 62 moving average.
Thanks, Ian.
And the euro is back to being weak again, which gives me room to the upside. So we just got stopped out just in this zone here. Just went a little bit deeper than what a trade would have allowed. But the one thing about it is if you get stopped out at a good spot and you find out it's just right where you got stopped about just before it turns around, you just get back in again. There's nothing wrong with that. I wouldn't do it over and over again, but take another shot at it would not be out of line. And we have a little bit of a trend line too, which is testing here. We have this little pivot low right here. We have this pivot right here. And right now we have this testing this trend line right at this 62 moving average. I would like to see these moving averages cross a little bit first, get it in the right order. May come on up, test this 62, pull back. We have a little wedge here. I think once I get a 5-minute close above the overshoot zone, then maybe I'll take a long again. This could be
Actually,
right at 9 o'clock, right at 9 o'clock candle. That's going to be not only a 5-minute, 15-minute, and a 30-minute, and a 1 hour candle close above this little zone. Then wait for the pullback and then get in.
Eva, were you saying something?
Yeah, I was. Hold on a moment now. I was just looking and there was a gap there out. Actually a fairly big size one. I was just looking on Trading View. That's where
On the deck, on the
yeah,
German 30.
yeah.
Where did you see
From
this gap that you're talking about?
from the 23rd of July when it closed until it opened on the 25th.
Oh, the 23rd. That's why I didn't see it. Oh yeah, this one right here. Yeah,
Yeah, so I'm assuming it's going to fill that gap in once it starts to go.
probably a good chance.
Yeah.
That is the theory behind trading, guys. If y'all are new, if you ever see a gap like that, the theory is that price left that area so fast that price will naturally refill it before it takes back on to the trend, previous trend, whatever that trend was.
You know,
Little nugget.
But now here's where the gap was, right here, and it did get up as far as this point right in here. So the gap wasn't totally filled, but it did get up that it filled that much of it.
Yeah. So I've moved my take profit, which is not usually what I do, but I'll have to watch it. And if I see it wants to start coming down, and which it probably will, but you know, sometimes it just takes off and it just fills the gap, right?
You got to remember too that the German 30s made all-time highs, and it needs to take a little bit of a breather to retrace from some of that.
Yeah.
Here's a little area where it retested. This is a retest area right in here. This is the origin of this big move. Here's a little basing, closed out all that, cleared all that out. Came back down to quite a bit of a retracement. But right now, I'd say it's trading inside this zone right here, where the gap is and this retest area. Looks like we've got a blue candle in the close. It says at 9 o'clock. It's probably close to 9 o'clock if it isn't already.
Yep, it is.
And I'm going to take this thing long again. Let me see how it, did we get the close that I was looking for? It didn't close outside the wedge. Still in the overshoot area. Like I said, when the 1 hour candle closes, the low is going to come in first. Came out of the wedge, coming right back into the wedge again. I need to see it close above the blue, this blue fib line right here. Wicked up. It closed outside the wedge. We did get the let's see. Not quite ready yet. We are getting higher lows, higher lows, higher lows. Now, if it could break out of this bottom of this overshoot area, then it's going to be looking at going lower. But right now, it's still in this point of no return, or this of indecisiveness.
Are you still laughing?
No, I'm laughing, but Leslie I put a nice word about our trading group, and Leslie's response was, "Oh, sucks." She meant to put shucks.
Sorry, Leslie. At your expense, we're laughing. Sorry, sweetie.
And then after that, she put shucks, not sucks.
Oh, sucks.
Go tell your friends Hawkeye sucks. But we've upped our standards, so up yours.
Exactly. There you go. It's your
It's a good marketing thing, and it can go on then Anne's t-shirts.
I got tears.
That's a
in my
belly
eyes.
laugh. That's a belly laugh.
Oh my gosh, my eyes are leaking. That's funny.
You people are crazy.
And Al's still trying to get the joke.
Leslie, you gotta laugh at yourself.
I'm still trying to keep from coughing.
Yeah, that's true. You don't want to laugh right now.
Well, we did get the 5-minute close outside the wedge. Finally, there's a little bit of pullback. And let's see, this is a German 30. I'd like to see, we got the moving averages, the 5 and the 13 have crossed over in the upside. So right now it's still consolidating. I'm gonna take another shot at this one. This candle close. I'm gonna take a this thing candle closes bullish. Euro's still weak. And we have another 23 seconds to go here. There's a little zone here. Drop, base, drop. There's another retest zone right up in this area. And we're going to buy. Came out of the overshoot area, closed above. Let's see if it can come back up to retest the, ultimately, this would be the upper 20. Oh, where did that come from? Here's the upper 25%. Yeah, my stop's going to be below this overshoot zone, which would put it right down right about in the 115,596 area. And target I'm going to put at 15,641 for now. Actually, I think I'll move it down to the 50% line. Just below that. If it breaks through that, should be coming up to 50%. Probably have a little bit of heat at the 50%, then may going on up to the 25. If I get stopped out the second time, that'll be the last time I'll trade this today. Again, Mondays are a lot of position taking, try to get positions going. They know where they want to take it for the week. Like I said, this is the last week of the month, so they're going to be trying to lock in their profits at this week. There'll be a lot of profit taking. And that's what some of this could be too. In fact, it made an all-time high. And they're just starting to position size, trying to get out of their positions or to take their profits. We still have a few days before that's going to happen. Does have a pretty good spread, 2.5 spread. So I think we're just about to, we are at our 9 o'clock hour. I think we can wrap this thing up. What do you say, guys?
Sounds like a plan.
Sounds good to
On that
me.
note, we'll see everybody tomorrow, same time, 7:30 to 9. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks for
Enjoy
laughter.
having you. It was a lot of fun today. And we will see everybody tomorrow. Take care.
Take care.
Stay
Take
good.
care, everybody. God bless.
Tomorrow.